أستغفر الله أستغفر الله أستغفر الله.
You may all remember that the epididymis of the testis just kind of flaps over the end of the testis as a little appendage, and it, like the testis, is lined with a tunica vaginalis as well. But in contrast to the testis, the epididymis has no spermatogenesis. It is just a place for further development of the sperm, and its tubules, or its glands, or its structures that we see here are a lot simpler than what we see in the testicle. You remember we traced our path of testicular birth and development from the seminiferous tubule to the straight tubule to the rete testis, and a small region which we will probably not see on here called the ductuli efferentae, which are columnar cells lined by true cilia. But what we see in the epididymis are also columnar cells, and they are extremely columnar, and they are lined with modifications of cilia called stereocilia. And stereocilia are much, much neater and more precise and more orderly than regular cilia. So the entire epididymis, as you might guess, might have a little lining of mesothelial cells on here, also part of tunica vaginalis, which it dragged in with it from the abdomen as well. And the organization is actually quite simple. It's basically a series of these tubules. They look extremely columnar, extremely non-stratified, and extremely orderly. And in addition, the cilia aren't just nice little fuzzy little hairs you could barely see. The cilia are very, very, very precise and a little bit thicker than your average cilia. So that's why they're called stereocilia. One of the most beautiful arrangements of ciliated or stereociliated orderly columnar epithelium in the whole world is in the epididymis. Here is the basement membrane. Here are these beautiful orderly columnar cells. You may see collections of sperm in here every now and then. Here is a little bit of smooth muscle surrounding it. Here's a little bit of fibrous tissue. And notice the smooth muscle nuclei may be hard to differentiate from the fibroblast nuclei of the connective tissue. And both cytoplasm is pink, so a nice trichrome stain would be good here. Here's a couple of small blood vessels, probably arterioles. Here's a big vein. Here's another big vein. Here's another beautiful little seminiferous tubule. I'm sorry. Here is another beautiful gland of the epididymis. Here's a vein. Perhaps that's a small artery. Here's another big vein. And here's a big artery. But you already knew all that stuff. So let's just go back and take a overall view of that. And practically all of the glandular or tubular structures of the epididymis are going to look like this. Some of them may contain collections of sperm if you look closely. Some of them may be more open and wide and dilated. But remember, they are the most beautiful examples you could ever imagine of a nice and orderly, non-stratified, simple columnar epithelium. And that's exactly what they look like. And here's the stereocilia. And I thank you very much.
هاتنا واللي كفا ولنعاود من قريب ولنعاود من قريب ولنعد للنور صفا عهد ماضينا الأريب عهد ماضينا الأريب